Ball.
In Class A, Northfield earned their stripes in the tough Minnesota Conference, avenging a loss to Hutchinson in the semifinals. They have one more grudge to settle, the loss in last year's title game. To do it, they'll have to go through unbeaten Sartell. The championship is next.
The 1994 Minnesota Prep Bowl. Now your host, Minnesota Nine's Jim Gilliland.
Prep Bowl 13 rolls on from the Metrodome. We're almost set for the Class A final. We just had a great record-setting performance in Class B. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Grayson, along with Andy Skugman. And marvelous, we just saw some incredible performances.
Oh, Jeff, I'll tell you, Kirk Bethune, it's impossible to top that effort. I really have to say that 6 touchdown passes. He has one of the strongest arms I've ever seen.
And he's coming back next year. He's an underclassman.
And he's just a junior.
All right, we'll have more fireworks in our Class A title game. We'll be on the sidelines. Dick Bramer and Chuck Foreman will call it along with Gilly when we come back, the Class A final.
Annual Minnesota Prep Bowl, brought to you by First Bank, putting students first. Pepsi, be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. Menards, helping you build America's heartland for 35 years. The Lincoln Mercury Dealers Association, the American Dairy Association, on behalf of your local dairy farmers, and Volkswagen and your local Volkswagen dealer.
Goal line out to the 25-yard line. Jeff Montefiore, the quarterback for Sartell, was sacked for a 5-yard loss, and it is 2nd down and 15. The Sartell Sabres ranked number 1 in the state all year long. They're the only number 1 team to have survived the
violence reveals a family
championship game. The handoff goes to Tom Stark, and Stark gets it back out near the original line of scrimmage before he is tackled by Brent Setterstrom, and you'll hear that name a lot. Setterstrom already with 144 tackles on the year. Here's the Sartell offense. Tom Stark, a tremendous running back, 35 touchdowns on the season, and you can credit the offensive line for statistics such as that.
Anytime you run for that many yards and play that well as a running back, you got to credit the front line, and he's shown a lot of speed on that one run we just saw.
3rd down and 11. Montefiore rolling right to the near sideline, incomplete, and Sartell apparently will go 3 and out on their first possession.
Well, I'm sure they are getting the bugs out right now, Dick. The first series, a nice Northfield, defense, putting a lot of pressure on him, threw the ball away.
There's Sartell coach Dean Taylor. As we mentioned, Sartell is the only number 1 team from the final poll to get to the championship game, and they're facing Northfield, the only returning team from last year's Prep Bowl. Beautiful kick. Wow, what a kick by Scott Mater. And the ball down at the 34-yard line. A little bit of a mishandle there, but Cam Edwards eventually down the ball at the 34-yard line. So Sartell goes 3 and out, and now the Northfield offense will have a chance after a 42-yard punt by Scott Mater. We'll take a break and return to the Metrodome in a moment. Away on the Miles Lord scoreboard, you can see no score about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Dick Bramer along with Chuck Foreman bringing you the Class A championship game between Northfield and Sartell. Our game, of course, featuring a couple of pretty good head coaches. Dean Taylor for Sartell, and that's Bubba Sullivan back in the Prep Bowl for the 2nd year in a row. Northfield a year ago lost to Detroit Lakes in the Prep Bowl. This time they hope to leave the Metrodome with the state championship. Northfield will start its first possession with pretty good field position at the 35-yard line. The Northfield Raiders 11 and 2 on the year. They lost their first 2 games of the year, and now are trying to finish the season with a 12-game winning streak and a state championship.
2,000-yard rushes here, Dick.
Yeah, both teams carry a couple of 1,000-plus yard rushers. This is one of the Northfield star running backs, Håkan Bengtsson, and there's no running room there. Adam Herbst was waiting for him along the right side, and Steve Kimball was waiting there as well. Here's the Northfield offense.
I think Northfield's going to the no huddle.
Quick offensive set and a handoff to Drew Wilson. Over 1,400 yards. You hear so much about Håkan Bengtsson, but Drew Wilson actually is a top ground gainer on this Northfield team. Aaron Walters and Ross Lang making the defensive stop for Sartell. A very good Sartell Sabres football team. They really haven't been challenged much at all this year until they got to the semifinals. Nick Holden going deep along the sideline, incomplete. Tried to get it to Drew Wilson coming out of the backfield. And this Class A matchup that featured two high-powered offenses so far in the early going dominated by the defense. Both teams going 3 and out.
Well, that generally is what happens, Dick, early in a game like this. Both teams are getting the wrinkles out, feeling each other out right now. And as the game goes on, we'll surely see a lot more offense.
Håkan Bengtsson standing back at his 25-yard line. And he comes up with a nice punt. Fielded by Steve Claverkamp. Fair catch taken at the 28-yard line. Our official upstairs in the press box to help us through this Class A championship game, Bob Meslow. Bob, good to have you with us.
Nice to be here, guys. Thanks for inviting me up.
We appreciate your help and look forward to your contributions. And we have a timeout on the field with 9:08 left in this first quarter. Sartell in the championship game in this prep bowl for the 3rd time. And we'll continue on with. We are back at the Metrodome for the Class A championship game between Northfield and Sartell. Two teams, Chuck, that are kind of similar. Neither team has a lot of size, but they're both very quick and have good speed.
Very quick, great speed, and they rush the ball a lot.
Sartell's second possession, and not much room to run there for Tom Stark. Over 1,500 yards on the ground. Rusty Clam on the tackle along with Chuck Van Nostrand. Stark is the outside runner, the guy who runs on the perimeter outside the tackles and does so well for Sartell. Paul Trobeck chews up a lot of yardage inside. You'll see him, number 40, lined up to the left of Tom Stark on 2nd and long. Montefiore throwing incomplete at the 40-yard line, nearly intercepted. The pass intended for Tom Stark. Brent Centerstrom nearly intercepted the ball along with some help from Joe Lang.
He had Tom Stark open early in that route. He held on to the ball a little bit too long. Here you go. Here in the replay, and you see that he's throwing the ball, but he was open prior to the defensive player getting there. But he was open early in the route.
3rd down and 10. Now they go from the shotgun. Montefiore going deep, looking for Stark, incomplete, and no flag thrown. Fearing tripped up at the 35-yard line by Grady McGovern.
I think Tom Stark really ran into Grady McGovern on that play. I think he was looking back for the football and just ran over number 4, Grady McGovern. And as you can see it here in the replay as Montefiore goes back to throw the ball. He's showing a strong arm, too. And as you can see, Tom Stark initiates the contact, runs over number 4, Mr. McGovern.
Scott Mater with a beautiful kick on his first punt, and a good kick, but not as good as the first one on number 2. And not much of a return there for Cam Edmonds, excuse me. Got it across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. And that's where Northfield will take over. With 8:10 left in the first quarter. More prep bowl action coming up in a moment. What's that? Yeah. Just over 8 minutes to play in the first quarter in the Class A championship game. Get a look at the Northfield bench. This is their second possession. Neither team has managed to pick up a first down yet. Nick Holden brings his offense to the line of scrimmage. First down carry. And it's Drew Wilson who muscles his way out across the 45-yard line.
And we know sooner or later, Dick, one of these two running backs is going to break something really long. Both teams have an outstanding running attack, and you don't gain that many yards by gaining 2 yards of crack. So we'll see them break them pretty soon.
Chad Novak made the tackle for Sartell on that last play, a pickup of 4 yards. Holden fumbles the football, and the Sabres cover it up. At the 46-yard line, the first turnover goes to Sartell. Steve Kimball, along with Jesse Reinert, made the coverage, or made the fumble recovery for Sartell.
You know, as we've seen in the earlier games today, the teams that make the fewer mistakes are the teams that win. I don't think the running back really had a good handle on that ball going into the line. So the quarterback's going to have to concentrate on get that ball in there.
Almost looked like he wasn't expecting the handoff.
Exactly.
Montefiore with a pitch to the near side. This is Paul Trobeck. And he is spilled after a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Trobeck with a short gain. Bankson making the tackle on the defense for Northfield. PMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights to the 1994 Minnesota State High School Prep Bowl. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and account of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of PMSP Television and the Minnesota State High School League. Initial contact in the backfield. Trobeck again has very little room to run. Andy Swenson there waiting for the Raiders. It'll be 3rd and 9 for the Sabres.
So far, the defense has dominated this game so far. We know that we have 2 outstanding football teams offensively. Sometimes in games like this, it takes the offense a little bit longer to unwind.
And sometimes you wait. There have been 3 games played before you get a little bit of uneasiness, a little jitteriness.
Exactly.
Montefiore with an inside pitch. Nobody home. Picked up. And it is an incomplete pass. Near the line of scrimmage, a dangerous play as Montefiore flipped it forward, and it bounced all the way through the line of scrimmage for an incomplete pass.
As you can see the replay here, I thought that was a pitch, not a pass.
3rd punt of the game for Scott Mader. He stands at the 40.
That play prior to this kick really scares me, even when I see it on the college level.
Beautiful high kick, fumbled momentarily, but covered by Grady McGovern. And Northfield will start deep in their own territory. You saw kind of a high snap there for Sartell. It's been a problem for them this year. We'll return to the Metrodome in just a moment. Jump position here in the first quarter. Neither team has been able to muster a first down.
There hasn't been much offense for sure this first couple of series for both teams.
Talked about Sartell being #1 all year long. Northfield ranked 2nd in Class A in the final poll. Their 3rd possession starts deep in their own territory. Holden on the option. Pitches out to Drew Wilson. Wilson gets near the 25-yard line before Steve Clavercamp grabs him and pulls him backward.
Well, we saw some of that Northfield speed on that particular play. And maybe the offense is going to start to open up a little bit. And as you see it on the replay, it's just a nice pitch out there, and he just uses the speed, nice running ability, gets to the outside, gains 9 yards. Nice play.
2nd and a yard. This is Bankson. And we still don't have our first down. Paul Trobeck grabbed him off right tackle and pushed him backwards. Bankson said, well, this is just the first quarter. I've been the hero in the 4th quarter and overtime the last couple of games.
It's a long game, and he'll break one sooner or later. Right now, the Sartell defense is really playing well. So is the Northfield defense, and they really are snuffing these runners.
Trobeck and Clavercamp combined on the initial hit. 3rd and a yard. And that's the first down for Håkan Bengtsson. as he barrels across the 25 to about the 27-yard line before Steve Kimball makes the tackle. .4:15 left in the first quarter. It's been a defensive struggle. Actually, the defenses haven't struggled at all.
Not at all.
An offensive struggle.
Well, the defense is definitely taking the offenses out of the game, and that's what the coaches want to do. Is one of these series, one of these offenses are going to explode.
Northfield again nearly turning the ball over. Nick Holden fumbling in the backfield. Covers it at the 26 for a loss of a yard. Ross Lang right there with the defensive coverage for Sartell.
It's going to be very important for both of these teams to cut back on their turnovers, because as we've seen in the past games, turnovers have really hurt the losers in each of the previous games.
Sartell's been smaller and quicker than just about everybody they faced this year, with the exception of Northfield. These two teams kind of mirror each other.
And that's why they're having difficulties moving the ball against them.
Incomplete at the 36-yard line. The pass intended along the near sideline. For trying to get the
Adam Herbst.
Adam Herbst.
Adam Herbst was the tackler.
At any rate, an incomplete pass. We had the Mike Mokoff, someone who's not been on our roster.
Okay.
Not on the in the high school program. 3rd and 12, and Bengtson gets it across the 27 out to about the 29, and it appears as if we're going to have another Northfield punt. Paul Trobeck on the tackle for Sartell.
You want chili or soup or anything like that?
2:50 left in the first quarter, and we'll have the third Northfield punt. Second Northfield punt, excuse me. They turned the ball over once.
I've seen a lot of quickness in this Sartell football team.
Ball landing at the 45 and now down at the 43-yard line, where Sartell will start its 4th possession with 2:31 left in the first quarter.
Your 24-hour weather source. This is a Minnesota 9 weather update.
After a beautiful day today in the Twin Cities with sunshine, temperatures topping out in the 40s, some changes, dropping off to 33 degrees. Here's what we have across the state with temperatures right now. Like I said, 33 in the metro, 31 in Rochester, 18 this hour up into Duluth. More weather next hour.
First down for Sartell. Montefiore handing off up the middle to Paul Trobeck, and a short gain, yard or two. That's about it. Clock running, just over 2 minutes to play in the quarter.
You have a 1,600-yard rusher and almost a 1,300-yard rusher on the same team.
Montefiore wants to go through the air. A deep throw. Complete at the 28-yard line. Adam Herbst with a nice grab and a first down for the Sabres.
Well, we said sooner or later, both of these teams are going to open it up. Sartell's a team that drew first blood.
A 28-yard reception. Right on the money to Adam Herbst.
Well, we'll see if Sartell can take this momentum and go in and score a touchdown.
Tom Start bounces outside, ends up with a loss of about 3 yards.
Northfield
Bengtson with the tackle for Northfield, along with Rusty Clam.
Northfield's up to the challenge, though, Dick. They've responded quite well. And here we are here. We see that nose tackle here snuffing it out. Throws our center away. And who that made that tackle?
Rusty Clam in on the tackle for Northfield. 2nd and 12. Montefiore Wrapped up at the 38. He nearly completed the pass. It's incomplete. As Stark came out of the backfield.
Hoping Dingston put that pressure on him.
Excuse me, that was not Stark, that was Aaron Walters along the near sideline. The pass falling incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 12. Sabres with a 3rd and 12 after their first down late in the first quarter. Fearing going across the middle, nobody there. Incomplete. The ball falling harmlessly at the 15-yard line. And now flags are thrown very late.
That was a dangerous throw there, right into the middle of the field.
The ineligible man downfield. The closest man, I believe, to the pass for Sartell was Chad Dirks.
Well, a lot of times when the quarterback's scrambling like that, you get calls like this because the offensive line can't wait to get downfield to make a block.
Penalty is declined. Sartell faced with a 4th and 12, and they're going to try a field goal. Scott Mater is 4 of 7 in the field goal department. His longest kick, 45 yards. This will be an attempt, but we have another flag. It would be an attempt right now of 46 yards.
That's impressive. This is the first field goal I've seen tried all day.
Offsides will push it back 5 more yards, and we'll see what that does to Dean Taylor's decision making here. Be a 51-yard attempt. Let's check the record books. Have we had a field goal of 50 or more yards in the Prep Bowl? Tom Greenhoe, our statistician, says yes, we have. It's set up perfectly for Mater right in the middle of the field. The longest field goal, just 40 yards in high school play. This one very short. And off target. And it bounds in the end zone. Mater with good distance on his kicks. A 45-yard field goal for the longest of his season. This one from 51 yards, not even close.
They must have confidence in him to let him try a field goal from that distance. Didn't make good contact that time, though.
With 32 seconds left in the first quarter, and not much offense to show for the first 12 minutes, Northfield will start its 4th possession. Got a couple of good field goal kickers. Sean Stantina of Northfield is 8 of 9 in field goals. So for the first time today, placement kicking may be a big factor in this game.
It may be. I mean, this is the first game I've seen today where there's even been an attempt for a field goal, especially at that distance.
Drew Wilson with a short first down carry of a couple of yards. And that, in all likelihood, will be the final play of the first quarter. Now the Raiders don't get it off. So we have completed the first quarter. Just one first down between the two teams. A scoreless first quarter here at the Metrodome in the Class A championship between top-ranked Sartell and second-ranked Northfield. We'll return to the Metrodome for more of the Class A championship in just a moment.
Live action here, but what's tough about shooting football? Because I know professionals find it very difficult.
It's staying with the play. I mean, keeping with one person, you know. Sometimes you get blurred pictures, sometimes you won't.
Now you're saying next year you hope to play on a football team?
Oh, yeah. That's every kid's dream who plays football is getting here into the Dome and playing for the state championship. It's mine.
Corey, thanks for taking the time. He's a photographer. He's a football player. He does it all. Back to Dick and Chuck.
All right, a reception by Mike Mokoff on a quick slant across the middle. Good for a Northfield first down. They have it at the 36-yard line. Holden optioning to Drew Wilson, and a flag thrown at the 31-yard line. The tackle made by Aaron Walters.
You know, again, we see the speed of the Sartell defense. They are very impressive defensively. None of the teams have done much offensively so far, but defensively, both teams have been impressive.
An inadvertent face mask grab here is the call. It'll be a 5-yard mark off.
We'll have to see where.
Oh, they're going to mark off a big one here. I beg your pardon. That's a 15-yard penalty, and it's good for a first down after the 47-yard line.
We see it one way, Dick. The refs see it another.
Yeah, they're the only people that matter, though.
They're the only ones that matter.
You never got to influence a call when you were playing, did you? First down for Northfield. Carry up the middle for Drew Wilson. Not much running room there again. Jesse Reinert with the tackle for Sartell. Let's get a clarification on the face mask rule from Bob Meslow. Bob?
Dick, in high school football, all face masks are 15 yards. There's no such thing as an inadvertent.
Thank you for reminding me. I should have remembered that.
Doing too much college, Dick.
Yeah. Pickup of 3 yards. And Holden zips it across the middle again, complete. On a slant pattern to the 31-yard line. And again, it's Mike Mokoff, who's become Nick Holden's favorite receiver.
We've seen two teams that are really good at the rush, throwing the ball to make some of their bigger yards the first 2 quarters.
They mark the ball at the 31-yard line. The first sustained march by either team so far. Bankson cuts his way up the middle down to about the 25-yard line. Tackled by a host of Sartell players. Jeff Starry coming off the pile for Sartell.
That was a nice game, Dick. 5 yards of crack. That's what they want to try to do on first downs. Sure gives you a lot of options once you, after that first down, you gain 5 or 6 yards.
Bankson hit head on after a gain of a yard. Jesse Reinert met him squarely after a gain of about a yard.
Okay, there's number 73 in there on that tackle too. Jeff Starry.
Short gain, 3rd and 2. Holden sets up and throws, deflected and caught at the 13-yard line. Catch made by Casey McGovern on the deflection for a Northfield first down. Paul Trobeck finally wrestled him out of bounds.
Being in the right place at the right time, the ball came off the defender right into number 3, Casey McGovern's hands. That's an alert play by Casey. Here you see it in the replay. The quarterback sprints out, sees his open man here, and the defensive back makes a good play on it. Didn't catch the ball. Went right into the hands of Casey McGovern.
Northfield threatening to put the first points of the game on the board. Bankson wrapped up as he tries left tackle. The first man there was Steve Kimball. A gain of about 3 yards for the Raiders.
That was a tough 3 yards too.
Bankson scored 11 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards on the ground.
And here you see on the replay, Bankson reads his block, goes to the outside, picks up 3 yards. They'll take that in this situation. From the 20-yard line on in, Dick, that's the toughest yard in all of football.
Wilson cuts inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Adam Herbst pinned him down there, but he apparently has another Northfield first down. Well, they've gotten a couple breaks along the way. The face mask penalty, the deflected pass that went for a completion and a first down, but yet this is an impressive drive.
Very impressive. The offensive line's coming off the ball, opening the holes, giving the running back some time to run. And number 33, Drew Wilson, had a nice run on that carry.
Wilson carries to the goal line and not over the goal line. Very close, however. They'll mark it at the 1-yard line. Wilson with 15 touchdowns. Bengtson with 11. Chad Novak made the tackle for Sartell. So it really is truly a 1-2 punch for Northfield, as it's been all year long. Both Wilson and Bengtson have been able to get the ball into the end zone. 7.5 minutes left in the half.
Very impressive drive. This is what the coaches want to do. They want to take some time off while moving the ball in for a score.
An offsides call will move it that far. And it's second and goal from about 6 inches away. Drew Wilson carries it over for the game's first touchdown.
Well, that was a nice drive by the Northfield football team. Really steady. They took their time. They ran the ball. They did the things that they did to get here, and that is rush the football. Had a couple passes in there, but a nice mixture of offense, and it enabled them to get down to the goal line to get the score. And here you see the goal line. Here you see the goal line play there with Drew Wilson. It was just a quick opener right off the guard and tackle.
Sean Stanchino will try the extra point. He drills it through. And it's 7-0 Northfield. A lot more football coming up in this Class A championship. We'll return to the Dome in a moment. Dick Bramer and Chuck Foreman with you for the Class A championship. There's the First Bank scoreboard with Northfield freshly on the board with the game's first touchdown.
And here we are. Oh, that was really quick. I know those guys are quick, but I didn't know they were that quick, Dick.
Drew Wilson scoring his 16th touchdown of the year.
Nice drive by the Northfield offensive football team. These guys are starting to settle down. I think we might see a little more offense now, Dick.
Sartell struggled last week in their semifinal win over Tortino Grace. Offensively, and quarterback Jeff Montefiore said that he felt the offense was a little tight in that football game, and that might be the case here in the championship game as well.
Well, we know that they have the ability, so that's why they're here. One of the best team in the state so far.
Adam Hurst with a nice run back out to the 36-yard line.
Well, we've seen some speed here. Adam Hurst, probably one of the fastest men on the field today.
Matt Bickle with the tackle for the Raiders, a 29-yard return.
Well, you see, he comes and feels the kickoff return. Then he turns his speed on when he sees his hole, and that's what you need to do. He did not mess around. He went north and south. And that's what a lot of kick returners don't do. Be it high school, college, they don't turn up. He made his decision and went straight up the field, north and south.
Montefiore dragged down at the 23. They say that he was down at the 23. No fumble, no pass attempt. Just a big loss of 15 yards. Dragged down by Chuck Van Nostrand of Northfield.
Well, that defensive pressure is starting to get to Montefiore. Some of the decisions he's going to be. Here's the replay right here today. And you see the pressure coming right away.
Might have been Mike Foster who got the sack. And it was Foster who grabbed his sleeve and wouldn't let go.
Showed a lot of strength in that arm strength.
2nd and 25. Montefiore pressured again. Spilled at the 23-yard line.
Northfield defense is where it needs to be at the right time.
May have been Mike Foster who spilled him at the 23. We'll get another look here.
And here's the replay. You see, they didn't even go for that fake at all. And there you go.
3rd down and 24. Technically a gain of a yard. On a Fearing just 5'6", so when the big guys come chasing after him, it's hard for him to stand up and throw over the top. He does here, deep across the middle, incomplete. Pass intended for Adam Herbst at the 40-yard line. A misfire of a couple of yards, and Sartell again will have to kick it away.
Well, Montefiore may be a short guy, but he's got a strong arm, no question about that. He may be 5'6", 151, but he's got a cannon for an arm.
Threw for 14 touchdowns this year. Dean Taylor watches his offense come off the field again unsuccessfully. Scott Mater will punt it away. Another high snap, and he has to make a nice grab.
Oh, did he cut that? I think he touched that ball, didn't he?
I
thought it hit his foot.
It came very close to touching him at any rate, down at the 42-yard line. Turned out to be a pretty good punt for Mater. Sartell kicks it away. Northfield takes over when we return. Leading 7-0 with 5 minutes to play in the first half. They scored on their last possession. Sartell Sabres hoping that the defense will play it tough here with the ball approaching midfield.
With Sartell's offense not performing quite that well, their defense is going to have to come up and make some big plays, and there's one right there.
Holden with a late pitch to Wilson. 2 men were waiting for him. Aaron Walters will get credit for the tackle for Sartell.
I like the speed of this Sartell defense. They are very quick players. And here you can see it in the replay here. Aaron Walters comes up and makes the play. Nice play.
Wilson with a determined run, and again a late flag thrown into the pile as Wilson took it out to the 35-yard line. Steve Kimball gets credit for the tackle for Sartell. Let's check the flag, and it's a defensive penalty against Sartell.
Sartell cannot afford penalties like this, especially since their offense is not moving the ball. It is a really big penalty.
Another face mask call against the Sabres. The ball inside the 40-yard line. It's 1st and 10. There are 4 penalties, 35 yards. Charged to the number 1 ranked team. Wilson getting the bulk of the ball carrying. He's tagged forward to the 30-yard line, and that will be a penalty, I believe, against Andy Larson. Andy Larson grabbed Wilson, the ball carrier, and helped him along a little bit.
Here we go here.
A good carry for Wilson, the ball carrier. And the penalty for helping the runner, a 5-yard mark off, a 5-yard penalty will mark it back to the 36-yard line. Wilson again spilled right at the line of scrimmage. Steve Kimball was waiting for him, along with Ross Lang.
It's a good thing Sartell has a speedy defense, because they're keeping them in the ball game right now. And as you see, Mr. Wilson has the ball, and there's the Sartell defense right there. Great job by the Sartell defense. And number 39, Ross Lang.
Doesn't this have to be 3rd down rather than 2nd? They have the yardage marked at 2nd down. The sideline markers. Hurts or Holden going back, and nearly intercepted at the 15-yard line.
That could have been the play that the Sartell team needed. Steve Clavercamp, is that how we pronounce his name? was right there, had the ball in his hand and dropped it.
Clavercamp went back, nearly intercepted it. We had a first down carry by Wilson, the 5-yard mark off. The carry for no gain to the 36 and the incomplete pass. I'll assume that I'm wrong, but they have third down here for Northfield. Third down and 7. And Holden again will set up the throw, and he throws incomplete at the 26-yard line, nearly picked off by Aaron Walters.
Aaron Walters seems to be all over the field today for the Sartell defense.
And now it's fourth down. And we'll see how Northfield plays it. And we'll go for it on fourth down.
4th and 6, Dick. That's a lot of yards to get in this situation.
Holden going deep to the sideline.
Oh.
Jeff Oddie was there. Incomplete. Jeff Oddie will remember that play.
He will remember that the rest of the day, maybe the rest of his football career there. You don't get too many plays like that in a championship game. You got to be able to take advantage of that. And here's our quarterback, Nick Holden, going back. He has the arm strength. The guy's wide open. And as you can see, he wanted to run before he caught it. And that's what happens. That is what happens when you do that.
2:34 left in the first half with Northfield in front, 7-0. Bob Messel, let's get a clarification about why Northfield did not, as I thought they might have gotten an extra down on that penalty.
It was a first down play, Dick. They gained 9 yards on the play. By accepting the penalty, Sartell takes them back 5, but there's no loss of down. It's a repeat of the down, still first down.
Okay. I assumed all along that I was wrong. Now there's a pitch and a fumble, and Northfield recovers at the 37-yard line.
Mistakes are going to hurt Sartell. They've made several mistakes here early in this game, and they've given Northfield great field position on a couple different occasions.
Jesse Grissom apparently came off the pile with the fumble. You can see the pitch right there.
Pitch was low. Pitch was low, and hit the back's knee.
So Northfield taking advantage of the turnover. They've got it 1st and 10 from the Sartell 37-yard line. Drew Wilson gets it across the 35, and that's about it. Sartell defense now starting to play an awful lot of time on the field, spend a lot of time on the field. Ross Lang and Paul Trobeck combined for the tackle for Sartell.
You have to wonder how this is going to affect them in the second half. They've been on the field quite a while in this first half, so we'll see what Sartell's made of, if they're in shape or not.
2nd and 8 for Northfield. Holden going back to Oddie in the corner. This one,
there you go.
Touchdown.
He showed a lot of confidence in him. He went back to him. He needed that. That young man needed that quarterback to go back to him. Holden went back, saw him open, had the arm strength. Oddie ran a nice route. Touchdown.
Holden's 17th touchdown pass of the year, and Jeff Oddie gets redemption just a few moments after a missed touchdown grab here in the second quarter.
And as I said before, mistakes by Sartell is giving Northfield many opportunities to score points. And you see here in the replay here, Holden goes back, and Oddie is wide open. I wish I could have seen him run that route, what kind of route he ran.
Extra point attempt by Stanchina. Up and good.
Stanchina, I like that name.
Sean Stanchina came to Bubba Sullivan during the summer and said, hey, look, I'm a pretty good soccer player. Why don't you let me try out for the football team? And he kicked so well and practiced so hard during the summer that Bubba Sullivan found a spot for him, and he's been a big help to this Northfield football team.
Here's that play again, Dick. Nice pass. Great reception. Nice concentration. Oddie I'm not dropping this one. Jeff said I'm not going to look like the GOAT twice.
I think if Adi had dropped that one, he'd have pulled a Forrest Gump, hopped the wall, and just kept right on.
He may have kept going.
14-0. The Raiders are in front late in the first half.
But it's nice to see that the coaches and the quarterback had enough confidence in him to go back to him. He needed that.
Dean Taylor wondering when the offense will start to resurface here. I mentioned they had kind of a difficult time of it last weekend against Totino Grace. Just 106 total yards in the game. They suffered 3 sacks, 4 interceptions, and kind of been tough sledding so far here in this first half against Northfield as well.
Well, they better wake up pretty soon, because in a championship game like this, you can't afford to make mistakes, and they've made a lot of them so far.
Again, we see that teams don't want to kick deep. One of the up men for Sartell, Jacob Larson, finally got control of it. And the Sabres will take over about the 29-yard line.
I think what they're looking for on these kickoffs is to have that funny ball bounce a funny way. And I've seen a lot of it in the first 3 games.
1:20 left in the half. Faring drops back. To the sideline, he gets to the 35. A pickup of 5, maybe 6 yards before he's chased out of bounds by Brent Setterstrom. Along with, well, it was Setterstrom, I guess, who knocked him out of bounds. Pickup of 6 yards for the 35.
Well, this team has big playability. We know that, but the type of yardage they've had over the course of the year, we know that they're just making too many mistakes.
A nice carry by Paul Trobeck. The first time, really, Trobeck or Stark have had any running room at all, and he works it out across the 40 to the 42. Joe Lang makes the tackle, but Trobeck picks up a Sartell first down.
As you see on the replay, you see the replay here, you see the holes open up. The offensive line is doing a great job. He's reading the blocks really well. Nice strong run, first down.
A Sartell timeout with 59 seconds left as they try to get some points up on the board before halftime. Sartell, quite a story. This is their 3rd Prep Bowl championship appearance, going back quite a few years to 1976. They lost in the B class game to Caledonia. And then 4 years ago, they lost to Fridley in the Class A. And next year, Sartell will join the Central Lakes Conference, where they will face, among conference opponents, all double-A teams. So Sartell, with growing enrollment, has moved up from B to A, and perhaps not too far down the road, they'll be in double-A.
Well, we know that the community's grown, but we also know they have the ability to get to the playoffs and do quite well in any category.
This is their 3rd championship game. They've yet to win a championship. Montefering flushed out of the pocket and wrestled down at the 34-yard line. Håkan Bengtsson with the sack, and Montefering calls for a timeout.
I've seen Håkan on a lot of plays today, defensively, for the Northfield team.
Been more of a factor maybe on defense than on offense.
Than on offense.
This
he
first
really
half.
has.
Timeout call with 45 seconds left.
I'm kind of partial to the two-way player. I don't know whether you noticed that or not, Dick.
Now, did you play two-way in high school?
Oh, yeah. Played both ways. They get away from that quite a bit here in Minnesota. Why is that? You know, Dick?
In high school?
In high school.
Yeah, well, we've seen really through the 4 games so far, and we'll see some of it certainly in the double-A game as well. Teams that will have their outstanding athletes on both offense and defense. 45 seconds left in the half. Sartell rated #1 all year long, and they found the going very tough here in this first half against Northfield. And as we mentioned before, Bubba Sullivan, the only coach bringing a team back for the 2nd straight year this year. They lost to Detroit Lakes in the A championship game a year ago. Sartell's Tom Stark takes an inside handoff. And gets it past the original line of scrimmage. And the third timeout taken for Sartell with 36 seconds left. And that may be the first time that Stark has had any running room in this
exactly.
game.
But, you know, these last few plays, like you'll see this replay right here. You see the speed he has. He's got the ability to read the blocks, make the decision, turn on the speed, and gain the yardage he needs.
You had some great seasons with the Vikings. I remember at least one year of, 22 touchdowns, something like that?
Yeah, I think so, about 22 touchdowns.
Can you imagine in high school scoring 35 touchdowns? Stark did.
That's a lot of touchdowns on any level. That's why I'm saying we know they can put the ball in the end zone. We know Tom Stark is an excellent runner, and we know his running mate, Paul Trobeck, is also a fine runner. He had almost 1,300 yards, and Trobeck almost 1,600 yards. In fact, 2 yards short of 1,600 was Tom Stark, so you know he can put the ball in the end zone. 35 touchdowns, that's a lot.
Third down and 7 for the Sabres as they try to come up with a late drive here in the first half, down 14-0. Montefiore, and there's that incomplete pass again. A forward pitch to Trobeck. That's twice that they've tried it, and both times it's fallen for an incomplete pass, and now the Sabres, with 31 seconds left, will punt it away.
That particular play is such a timing play, and it scares me, especially if you got a team like Northfield that can penetrate like that. One of these times they might try that play, and Northfield player intercept it and go all the way for a touchdown.
Again, Sartell has had problems with high snaps all year long. Now, we've not seen them do anything unconventionally here, but during their semifinal win over Totino Grace, they had some wild punts. And Mater, who's got a good leg, boots one end over end, taken at the 23-yard line on a fair catch for Northfield's Grady McGovern. Mater, in the semifinal win over Totino Grace, would take a pitch out and run almost parallel to the line of scrimmage and kick it side saddle. And the design was to get it to the quarterback, take a pitch out, and punt the ball away. That's how much trouble they have had this year with their long snapping. It's first down and 10 for Northfield. Just 24 seconds left on the delay to Bengtson. Håkan Bengtson crashing across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Jeff Blenkush with the tackle for Sartell. And Northfield, rather surprisingly, takes a timeout.
They want to try to get more points on the board before this half is over.
They have their full complement of 3. Bubba Sullivan will come out to the field and talk it over with his team.
Bubba looks like he just came out of high school himself. He looks so young.
Real first name is Bob, but you hear of a nickname Bubba and you think someone in his 50s or 60s.
Exactly.
Bob looks like he's in his late 20s. He's been around for a while, and this is his 6th year at Northfield, and has done a pretty good job, obviously, getting to the state championship game 2 years in a row. You've done a great job. But Northfield has done a great job this year after a slow start, losing their first 2 games. One to Hutchinson, 28-7. The other one to a pretty good Wisconsin team, Menominee, 21-0. After an 0-2 start, here they are in the championship game. Holden deep along the sideline, intended for Adi. It's intercepted at the 44-yard line. Making the interception was Ross Lang. And again, Holden tried to hook up with Jeff Adi.
This could be a turnaround of this game. You can see him drop back here, throw his pass, and obviously this is what they wanted to do, but I don't know if it's what they should have done. Now Sartell has the opportunity to score a touchdown.
But just 8 seconds left in the half.
Well, it can happen.
We'll see what Montefiore and the Sabres decide to do. Whatever they do, they'll do it through the air. The last play of the half, barring a penalty, and it's picked off at the 25-yard line. Intercepted by Grady McGovern. Grady McGovern across midfield, and now he's down at the 46, and that's how the half ends. A good first half for second-ranked Northfield. They get 2 second-quarter touchdowns, and they lead it 14-0. The offense, 1 anything, but the story has been Sartell's offense and their inability to do much of anything against the Northfield defense.
Well, Northfield has been very impressive this last, especially the second quarter, offensively and defensively. Of course, defensively, they've been strong the entire game, but they have just taken this game and taken over the game both ways, both offensively and defensively. Sartell's made a lot of mistakes.
But Sullivan has to like where he's at right now. Ahead 14-0, and right now he's down on the field with Jeff Grayson.
All right, Dick, thank you. Bob, your thoughts on the first half? You used the big play to get the lead.
Yeah, it was a real nice pass from our quarterback to the Jeff Oddie, and Jeff had dropped the one previously. He felt bad, but came back and made a nice play.
What are you going to tell him at halftime?
Well, we want to keep doing what we were doing. You know, our defense has played excellent football. We want to continue to do that. And offensively, we found a few things we can do. We'd still like to find a few more things.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Now over to Andy Skugman.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm with Sartell head coach Dean Taylor. And tell me your thoughts on the first half.
Well, I thought they physically have handled us. They've pretty much taken us right off the ball. So that got us on our heels right now. We got to gain a little composure now and get steady down a little bit. And we've been 14 points down before and last year, and we came back from it. So right now, though, we got to find something that we can get off the ball on and get the ball moving against them. 3 plays and we're out, and usually those 3 plays are going backwards. So right now, offensively, we are not doing very well. Defensively, I think we played well. We've just been on the field so long. They've had so many chances that they've been able to get some points on the board.
Okay, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we are at halftime of our Class A championship game. The Sartell Sabres head into the locker room trailing by 2 touchdowns. More from the Metrodome in a moment.
KM Land GMC dealers.
Welcome back to the Metrodome. We're at halftime of the Class A championship game. Northfield has a 14-0 lead over Sartell. This is the GMC Truck halftime report. I'm Jim Gilliland, back with you down on the floor of the Metrodome, joined at this time by special guest executive director of the Minnesota State High School League, Dave Stead, whom we've been coming to see and visit with for many years now. And we were chatting before we came down, Dave, about the quality of our autumn in Minnesota this year. It's really been outstanding, and it's enabled us to get all the outdoor events in without a hitch. It's been great.
It's been fantastic. This is
returning to the Metrodome, Class A championship halftime. Northfield leading Sartell 14-0 at this juncture. Second half to follow, and of course later on we're going to have our Double-A championship game, Anoka and Alexandria, as we wrap up this football season 94. We'll be back to the Dome in just a moment, but right now we're going to take a break for a Minnesota 9 news update. Welcome back to the Metrodome. The excitement is building. We're at the halftime of our Class A championship. Northfield holding a 14-0 lead over Sartell. Second half coming up momentarily, and the Anoka-Alexandria game yet to follow. Well, if you heard our visit with Executive Director of the Minnesota State High School League, Dave Stead, a bit earlier, we talked about one of the new phenomenons in Minnesota high school sports, and that is the advent of girls hockey and its tournament competition. With a report on that new innovation, here's our Minnesota 9, Jeff Grayson. Dealers, thanks for joining us. We're looking forward to an exciting 24 minutes of action. Before we go back upstairs, Jeff Grayson has some special report on what went on in the locker room. Jeff?
Well, I was in the Northfield dressing room, Gilly, at halftime, and Coach Bob Sullivan said on offense, they want to put a long scoring drive together, mixing short passes with an effective running game to chew up time, and then some not giving up any big plays defensively. They want to hold on to the lead. They say one more half and they've got a state title. Now for the other half of the story, we go over to Andy Skugman, who was in the Sartell locker room. Andy?
That's right, Jeff, and the Sartell Sabres were the recipients of a pretty emotional pep talk from their coaching staff. The defense was praised for doing a pretty good job, but the offense simply wasn't working at all. The Sabres staff told their players to step up the intensity, and they also said that if they want to be champions, they better start playing like champions. Let's go back to Gilly.
Well, we'll take it up here. Dick Bramer and Chuck Foreman just before the start of the second half. And Chuck, we talked in the outset of this game how both teams were able to run the ball a lot during the 1994 regular season. Look at the rushing yards for Sartell, just 14 rushing yards in the half and not many more for Northfield. Defense dominated the first half of play.
This was a first half totally dominated by the defense, and we really expected to see both these teams who have outstanding running backs to really show themselves offensively as far as the running attack goes. That has not happened. but mistakes have happened for Sartell, which have put them behind in the game 14-0. And they really haven't generated much offensive ball. I think total of 30 yards offense compared to Northfield at 136. So that is the difference in the game, plus the turnovers and mistakes and penalties.
Jeff Montefiore, the Sartell quarterback, was sacked 3 times, but we have 4 rushers in this game who have rushed for well over 1,000 yards, and all 4 runners, 2 from each side, have struggled in the first half. We'll see what the second half brings us. Scott Mater kicks it away. It's a high end-over-end kick, taken right at the goal line. This is Drew Wilson, the top ground gainer in that first half, and he's hit by Jake Larson as he got near the 20-yard line. So Northfield will start the second half with the football. Nice kickoff by Scott Mater.
Well, we'll see if Northfield's going to be complacent and be satisfied with 14 points, or whether they're going to come out here and have a long drive this particular possession for 6 points.
Mentioned Wilson was their top ground gainer in the first half. 15 carries, 38 yards. Håkan Bengtsson, 8 carries, 22 yards. This is Bengtsson off right tackle. And he's hit hard as he crossed the 20-yard line. A gain of a yard, maybe 2. Tom Stark hit him hard right around the thigh pad. And Bengtsson is slow in getting up.
Well, I think he might need to go off the field. Is he holding his... Oh, his right leg seems... He's young. He'll be okay in a couple seconds, Dick. And as you see in the replay, he takes the ball. He's jumping outside with it. In time, Starks comes up and puts a nice hit on him right there where he needs to be.
Nice right play on that left thigh. There was a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Holden hands off to Wilson. Wilson tripped up at the 25-yard line. He falls forward to the 27. Ross Lang will get credit for the tackle, but Wilson may have tripped over his blocker at the 25.
Well, it looks like he did. And in the replay, we'll see that. We'll see it's a straight handoff to Ariza. He jumps outside. Sees a little daylight there, and there he does. He trips over his own player, Drew Wilson. Nice run. Could have been a long gainer.
3rd down and 3. Yeah, if Wilson squirts through that hole, he had the near sideline to pick up a big gain. Holden option right. Wilson cuts upfield. First down. Flag down. Wilson has a first down out to the 43, but we'll check the penalty flag.
Generally in that area, it's a holding.
Stark again on the tackle for Sartell, but this one looks to be coming back. A clip. The call against Northfield. Northfield penalized for just 5 yards in the first half. Sartell had a couple of big face mask calls in the first half, and they were penalized 35 yards, and the first penalty of the second half goes against the Raiders.
Well, maybe it's going to take a turn here. Maybe Northfield's going to make the mistakes, and Sartell's going to make the big plays.
So often it happens, Chuck, and you know very well that when an offense struggles, sometimes it takes the defense to come up with a big play to get the offense going.
Exactly, and this is what Sartell needs right now. They need plays. They need plays like this, where we have the cornerback coming up here, making the tackle.
A nice run for Wilson, but it went for naught. Holden with a deep drop. Pass up the middle, incomplete. Pass intended for Jeff Duke as they tried to set up an inside screen, but the ball delivered a little high, and it'll be 4th down, and the Raiders will have to kick it away.
So many times when quarterbacks throw those balls and those balls are tipped, as we'll see here, that the defense intercepts those balls, and that really scares me when I see something like that happen during the course of the game.
Håkan Bengtsson back near his goal line. Adam Herbst and Steve Clavercamp are at the Northfield 45. Herbst from the 48.
Looks like he's got a lane.
Got a big block.
There he goes.
Field, Adam Herbst across the 45.
And look at that speed. Whoa.
Adam Herbst knocked out of bounds. They didn't get the big play from the defense, but a big play from the special teams as Adam Herbst gives the Sabres great field position. We'll be back with more from the Metrodome with 9:39 left in the third quarter. A big contributor on defense in last week's win over Totino Grace with a couple of interceptions. Here he contributes on the special teams.
Hurts shows a lot of speed, and he's got it. Look, he's just outrunning angles here. And that was a great play, great punt return. This is what they need to get back in the game. Special teams and defense to make some plays for him.
Montefiore pitches.
There's Tom Stark, and he's got the speed too, and he's gone.
Stark.
He's gone.
In for the touchdown. A 25-yard gain on the first carry of the second half, and the Sabres are back in it.
Well, this is what we said they needed. They needed big plays from their defense, their special teams, and we needed that offense to get going. And everything that we said they needed to turn it around in the second half, they've done. Nice play, nice run. His speed did that to him.
A 24-yard run officially, and officially the 36th touchdown of the year for Tom Stark. That didn't take long. Once they got good field position, the offense took control, and the Sabres are on the board. Now, Sartell confused as to whether to go for one or two, and Montefiore has to call for a timeout with just a couple of minutes gone here in the third quarter. An unfortunate call here for the Sabres as they have to use a timeout early in the second half.
Exactly. They do not need to use a timeout at this point in juncture of the game. Personally, I would have went for the extra point. We got almost another whole half to go.
Again, both teams have good kickers. Mater for Sartell and Stanchina for Northfield.
Well, I think they're going to go for it. I see the kicker in there.
So we'll see whether this used timeout early in the third quarter becomes a factor later on. Mater is in the game. They'll go for the one-point conversion. Perfect. The defense held for Sartell. The special teams came up with a big return, and Tom Stark took it from there. It's 14-7. Back with more from the Dome in a moment. On our Ford Lincoln Mercury scoreboard, you see the story. It took Sartell a while to get the offense cranked up, but they got it going here.
Tom Stark showed why he gained 1,000 yards. He shows his speed, his running ability. Goes right to it, and I like the way he finished his touchdown. He wanted it really bad.
Dove over the pylon. So the Sabres get on the board. They kick the extra point. It's 14-7.
Well, we'll see how Northfield responds to this.
Scott Maynard will kick it off. Deep for Northfield is Drew Wilson. He's standing back at his 2. Mater's got a very strong leg. Good kicker and a good punter. End over end kick taken by Wilson at the 4. Wilson works his way out to the 26-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will start. Jason Trobeck corralled him on the special teams.
Well, we'll see how the Sartell defense responds. You know, they should be ready to play. I mean, they're 7 points behind. They have them down on the 25-yard line. And I don't think the Northfield team has the speed that the Sartell team does.
Sartell defense has done a good job controlling Wilson and Bankson, top 2 running backs for the Raiders. Body in motion behind Holden. Holden with a nice run across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. A pickup of about 7 yards. Jesse Reinert pinned him down there. Let's go down to the field, and Jeff Grayson.
All right, Dick, thank you. I'm with Bob Shannon, Northfield's team physician. And Bob, your son Duncan plays offensive line. He's left tackle, number 72. What's it like? Well, you have to watch everyone. I'm sure you have an eye on your son.
Well, it's really been a privilege. I have enjoyed my experience with them as a proud parent, but also as a physician for many of these young fellows. Extremely proud of Duncan and the entire team.
During the game, do you try to kind of distance yourself from your son, or how do you like to work it during the game?
Well, number one, I try to maintain a professional stature, but I thoroughly enjoy it. I just have to. It's been really exciting.
So we'll let you get back to enjoying the game. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Yep.
All right, that's Bob Shannon. We'll send it back upstairs to Dick and Chuck. Dick?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Chuck, it's interesting. We've Jeff and Andy have talked to a number of parents. It's one thing in common. They're all hoarse. They're all having problems.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's understandable. This is a once-in-a-lifetime deal for most people.
Hoken Bengtson with a carry to the 47. That's enough for a Northfield first down on that last call. Wilson tries the near side. First man there was Steve Clavercamp waiting for him for no gain.
I think Sartell's defense has played well all evening. They just needed to cut back on their mistakes. And here's the replay. They come in, they show their speed, their overall defensive speed. Clavercamp is there. Jeff Starry's there, and a host of others.
2nd and 9. Bengtson moves out of the backfield. Wilson crosses midfield, and then he is buried by Tom Stark after a pickup of about 4 yards. Stark coming up from his secondary spot to put a good hit on Wilson.
As we've seen again, that overall speed for Sartell on defense is something that Northfield has to be concerned about. You see the quick pitch, you see the pursuit, and you see the big play made by Tom Stark and Steve Clavercamp.
They mark the ball back at the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 7. Screen to Bengtson. Hit hard at the 45 and a flag thrown back at the 40. The Sabres waiting for the screen to Benson. He had nowhere to go.
I think we got a holding play on this one, number 72. Even though it wouldn't make a difference because that...
It is a clip, and the spot of the foul is the 40-yard line, even though the penalty, if it were declined, would force Northfield to kick the ball away. If you're Sartell, you're tempted to take the yardage.
Exactly.
It's a 15-yard mark-off.
Something to consider.
Now they're down by 7. They'll decline this penalty and get the football.
Well, the way their defense is going, though, that's a good decision. That's a really good decision.
It'll be 4th down and 13. A loss of 6 on the completed pass to Hoken Bengtson.
And I don't think they want to kick it to Adam Herbst.
Herbst is back there along with Steve Clavercamp. Bengtson will kick it away from about his 35. Oh, beautiful kick. Clavercamp catches it on the run at the 15 and is inside the 10. A flag is down. Clavercamp with a big run along the sideline. He gets it out to the 44, but the flag is thrown at the 17-yard line.
And we know what that is.
It's almost never against the coverage team, is it?
Almost.
Bengtson finally bounced him out of bounds hard. A nice return for Clavercamp. A 41-yard kick, and see if we can pick up where the penalty occurred. I think the flag has already been thrown at that point. Well, there's a little bit of look like a clip right there, perhaps.
Well, Clavercamp showed me a lot of different things on this play. He showed me a lot of concentration on the catching the ball. Then he showed a lot of athleticism by making some moves and getting away from the Northfield defense.
The penalty will push the ball inside the 10-yard line with Northfield leading by 7. We'll return to the Dome midway through the 3rd quarter.
If you want...
Turns into an 8-yard penalty for Sartell as the ball is moved back to the 8-yard line. 5 penalties, 43 yards for Sartell. You talked earlier in the game about how the best runners go north and south, as we've seen here in the second half. Sometimes in the special teams, to go north, you got to start south.
You got to start east and west sometimes.
1st and 10 deep in their own territory. On a bearing, hands off for a short gain to Paul Trobeck, and Trobeck who's chewed up over 1,200 yards, mainly up the middle, has found very little running room here tonight.
Oh, Brent Setterstrom made that play.
Setterstrom coming into this game with 144 tackles.
He's been a very busy man.
Yes, he has. Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. Trobeck again, this time with room to run. A first down out to the 25-yard line.
Both Trobeck and Stark show me a lot of speed.
Bankson made the tackle for Northfield, but
as you can see from the end zone, Dick, it's just a little handoff here. Finds a nice read there on the blocks, and he just turns on that speed. He's in the secondary, and that's where his individual talent takes over.
Trobeck runs it up the middle for 16 yards and a first down for Sartell. Just over 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Start. Close to another first down.
Now we see why both of these guys have 1,000 yards.
Andy Swenson finally dragged him down after a pickup of 9 yards. Well, it doesn't take much to change the momentum in a football game.
It certainly doesn't, and that's what makes football such a nice game. 1 minute you could be down, looks like you're out of. The next minute you're back there, back into the game.
Running backs run with a little bit more confidence. Blockers block with a little bit more authority.
Exactly. Once the back gets that one big run, he gets that confidence going. He'll do things that maybe he hadn't been doing early in the game.
Zip across the middle. It's complete.
That's it.
Adam Herbst for a Sartell touchdown. 66 yards. And the Sabres are within a point.
Well, again, you see, you cut back on the mistakes, you concentrate on your assignments, and what happens? You got big plays like that. Now, we've known that this Sartell team had big playability. There it is, just a quick pass there over the middle.
Couldn't see Montefiore. He's just 5'6". He found a seam and found Adam Herbst, and Herbst, who
they have a lot of speed.
Yes, they do.
I'm telling you, they got a lot of speed.
Scott Mater will try for the extra point. And that ties it up. Last week, Adam Herbst got Sartell through some sluggish times offensively with a big game on defense. Herbst here in the second half has already led to one score with a nice punt return.
Right.
And he has tied it up with a 66-yard hookup with quarterback Jeff Montefiore here with 4:08 left in the 3rd.
Well, it's a new game, Dick. They may as well start it over. It's a new game, and it seems that Sartell has the momentum. And I think Sartell, with their speed and quickness, even though I think Northfield might have a little bigger team, and I think that might be important later on. And there's the pass there to Mr. Adam Herbst, and he knows what to do with it after he catches it. And he's going to show us how he learned how to dive when he was younger.
That's only the 2nd pass completion in 10 tries for Jeff Montefiore, but it's a big one.
Couldn't come at a better time.
And for Montefiore, his 15th touchdown pass of the year. Mater will kick it off. This has the makings of our best game of the day. Had a couple of 20-point games and a 19-point game, but we're tied late in the 4th. And a great kick by Mater again. Wilson will bring it out. No, he won't. It was in the end zone and automatic touchback.
I don't know. It seems when things are going well, every phase of the game gets better. That ball was kicked into the end zone. So he found a little more energy when he was kicking the ball.
That Mater's come up with some good kicks in this game. He's a senior. Not a big guy, 5'8", 162. Well, Sullivan hoping that he can reinflate the balloon here.
Well, Mr. Mater has a big heart.
From the 20, Nick Holden brings him up. Wilson wrestled down to the deck after a gain of about 3. looked as if the first man there for Sartell might have been Jesse Reinert.
Seems to me, Dick, that Sartell's got a little more bounce in their hop, in their step right now.
Casey McGovern in motion behind Holden. Option flip to Wilson. And a nice run out to the 29-yard line. 9 hard yards. He was hit hard by Jesse Reinert again, along with Ross Lang.
Well, that was a nice run by Drew. And see, from the end zone here, we see the pitch to Drew. We see the Sartell defense there, though. Overrun the play. He cuts back up in there. And that's a nice 8-9-yard run for Drew Wilson.
Seem to be a few more Sartell defenders around the ball here in the second half.
Oh, yeah. They've actually played pretty strong the entire game. Just the mistakes they've made in the first half really hurt them.
Holden keeps, picks up a first down, and gets all the way out to the 34-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the quarterback sneak. Ball Trobeck. Ross Lang combined for the tackle. 2:40 left in the third quarter, clock running, and it's definitely time for the Northfield Raiders to reestablish their offense.
Well, they've got to reestablish the run again like they've done earlier a couple times in the game. They really have been overbearing with their running attack, but at least it got things going for them.
Holden has his pass tipped. It falls incomplete at the 38-yard line. It looked like Jesse Reinert got a hand on it as Holden rolled to his right and tried to throw to the far sideline. Looked like he was going to Jeff Hottie again.
And he called Trobeck was over there too.
Second down and 10 for Nick Holden. Movement along the line, and that'll cost Sartell, I think, 5 yards. Or will it be marked off against Northfield? It'll go against the Sabres. So instead of 2nd and 10, it's 2nd and 5.
Well, these are the kind of mistakes that Sartell cannot afford to make. They've got a good run going now. They've scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half. They got the momentum going, and they do not need those types of penalties at this point in the game.
Hottie in motion behind Holden. Holden with a late flip to Wilson. 5 Sabres are waiting for him at the 40-yard line. Stark knifed in. I think he was the man who cut him down, but Clavercamp was there, Stark was there, and 2 or 3 other Sabre players.
It just seems it seems from this replay here, Dick, you see Drew Wilson get the ball here, and you show some speed, but look at this Sartell speed right here. Clavercamp is right there waiting for him. There's Mr. Tom Starks coming up to make the hit. Really impressive. Reminds me a lot, in a way now, of the University of Miami and the type of speed that they have. I mean, they beat people, make up for a lot of mistakes with that speed. And Sartell, for a high school team, does the same thing.
3rd down and 4 for the Raiders. Pickup of 1 on that carry. Holden throwing for Wilson, incomplete at the 38-yard line. They had the matchup they wanted. They had Wilson coming out of the backfield, and covering him for Sartell was Stephen Kimball, a defensive end. With the ball overthrown, it'll be 4th and 4. Ball marked at the 40-yard line.
Well, they have a lot of confidence here. Oh, no, they're going to punt the ball.
Oaken Finkson will kick it away. He's averaged 34 yards on 4 kicks. Herbst And Clavercamp stand at their 30. High snap. No, it's a fake. And it won't work.
Not only was it a fake, Dick, it faked me out.
Obviously, a fake punt attempt from the 40-yard line. Ross Lang wouldn't bite, and Sartell will take over.
Now, this is what Sartell needs now. If they can go down and put some points on the board from here, and from what we understand, they have a nice field goal kicker. So they may not even need to score a touchdown, but they certainly need to get some points here in this juncture of the game.
Well, a gutsy call by Bubba Sullivan in a tie football game, trying to extend the drive with a minute left in the third quarter. Stark gets to the 35. Hit hard by Brent Setterstrom after a pickup of about, well, they'll give him 4 yards on the carry.
That's still a nice position for the Sartell offense to be in. They got a 2nd and 6, so their options are still wide open.
Trobick and Stark in the backfield behind Montefering. Montefering thrilled as he got rid of the football. It was nearly intercepted by Jesse Grissom. Brent Setterstrom bore through the offensive line of Sartell and really stuck Montefering hard.
You can see the play again here. The pressure was there really quick by Setterstrom, and as soon as he threw that ball, it looked like actually he was throwing to the Northfield player.
Sartell is 0 for 5 on third down conversion. Zipped across the middle, caught and down at the 25-yard line. A quick slant across the middle and a completion to Chad Novak. Enough for a Sartell first down.
One play they look terrible. The next play they make the big play when they have to. Nice concentration by number 80, Chad Novak.
Nice play for a first down, but if Montefering delivers that ball a little higher, I think Novak had clear sailing to the end zone. That's the end of the third quarter. Top-ranked Sartell entered the second half down 14-0. They used the third quarter to even things up. We expect a great fourth quarter. Don't go away. The Class A championship continues in just a moment.
Let me get this.
Welcome back to the Metrodome. We are tied going to the fourth quarter of the Class A championship game between second-ranked Northfield and top-ranked Sartell. Well, they got them lined up there in correct order and everything. Sartell. It is 1st and 10 for Sartell, trying to take their first lead of the game. Stark turns the corner. Knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
I tell you, Dick, speed kills, and he really outran the angles on this particular play.
Grady McGovern kept him out of the end zone.
Exactly. As you see here, he gets the ball, follows that block there. Great block there by number 40, Paul Troback. And there's Tom Stark, turns on that speed. He's almost in the end zone. And number 4, Grady McGovern made the tackle and saved the touchdown.
First and goal, they mark it at the 1-yard line. It was Stark's 24-yard touchdown run that got Sartell on the board in the third quarter. Now they're trying to take their first lead. Stark. Not on first down.
He's stuffed there by the entire Northfield team. And that's number 4 there again, Mr. McGovern.
Andy Swenson also helping out on the tackle for Northfield. Stark got it about halfway home. He has scored 36 touchdowns this season. Make it 37.
This is an impressive young man. He can take it inside or outside. It doesn't matter. He's a very hard runner.
The Sabres had the lead for the first time.
I think the Sartell speed has been the key here in the second half. They have really been outstanding. As you can see here in the replay, number 25 following number 40, Paul Trebek in there, and gets in there, finds a way to get to across the goal line.
Joe Coley, Kyle Smoley, and Paul Trebek helping to open up a hole. Mader kicks it between the uprights over the net and into the crowd. A second half dominated by Sartell. They lead at 21-7. Northfield needs to answer with a score early in the fourth. Joe Cooley will help open up the hole. Paul Trebek will make it a little bit wider. And Tom Stark finishes it off.
Tom Stark, again, the right place at the right time. This Sartell team has really been impressive the second half. In all phases of the game, Dick.
Yeah, we talked about it in the third quarter, how Sartell's defense or special teams needed to come up with a big play to turn things around. Now Northfield's in the same situation. Wilson finds a seam. Drew Wilson out to the 41-yard line, and Northfield will start with very good field position. Corey Ritter finally stopped Drew Wilson, a dangerous man carrying the football.
Well, Drew's been impressive all day, and he was even more impressive on this kickoff return. You see, he takes it right up the middle. He's not messing around. He's going where he needs to go, straight up the field. Nice, strong runner. Got great position for Northfield. Exactly what they needed.
A 35-yard kickoff return. Line of scrimmage, the Northfield 41. Bengtson has been relatively quiet until now. Into Sartell territory, down to the 46-yard line. Adam Herbst made the tackle for Sartell.
Well, this game, now we're starting to see why these guys all ran for over 1,000 yards. You can see here, just a straight handoff. He reads the block of number 72 there, and that is Duncan Shannon. Did a great job on that block right there to spring Bengtson.
This is Wilson. Short gain across the 45 to the 43. Chad Novak with the tackle. If you're thinking that Northfield is out of gas and they're going to fold up here in the fourth quarter, remember this. They got to this game with back-to-back overtime wins over International Falls and Hutchinson. So they're not timid. Don't expect them to be nervous because they've been in worse situations than this before.
Exactly, and they've been here before, so they aren't going to be intimidated by the score or the situation that they're in. They're a good football team.
2nd and 7. Deep to Wilson, overthrown at the 17-yard line. Wilson had gotten as far as the 20, but Holden threw over the top. Steve Clavercamp with the defensive coverage for Sartell.
Had he not overthrown that ball, that would have been a TD for Northfield.
I really like Wilson as a pass receiver out of the backfield, although that time he was lined up as a wide receiver. 3rd down and 7. Pass across the middle, complete. It's a first down for Northfield's Mike Mokoff. Ross Lang with the tackle for Northfield. And about everybody here at the Dome with a program is wondering who 95 is because he's not even in the program. But Mike Mokoff has come up with 3 grabs in this football game. He's a sophomore. And a big 3rd down conversion there, a first down at the 33.
Yeah, they got 2 more years to look at him. Nice reception.
Wilson ships out of the backfield. Bengtson trying to find a hole. And he furrows his way to the 28-yard line, a pickup of about 5 yards, tackled by Chris Martins and Jeff Blinkush.
Well, the Northfield team, Dick, is running the football really well. They're taking a lot of time off of the clock. They get down and score this touchdown. It'll make it that much more difficult and put a lot more pressure on the Sartell team to go down and score.
Credit Blinkush with that tackle. 71, not 77. Wilson falls forward near first down yardage at the 23-yard line. Jeff Starry with the tackle for Sartell, and Northfield has accomplished this much. They have regained a little offensive momentum.
Well, they certainly look better. And as you can see, Drew Wilson getting this ball here. Nice pitch. He's coming up. No, the Sartell defense is there. They missed the tackle right there. Drew Wilson, a nice strong runner. I think he got the first down.
He did. Line of scrimmage, the 23-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Northfield. A dozen tackles for Sartell's Ross Lang.
Well, we got 8:23 left in the game, Dick, and Northfield's moving in for a score. Well, we'll see if Sartell can hold them out.
Bankson crashes off left tackle and works it out to the 20-yard line. And as they unpile for Sartell, Jesse Reinert and Ross Lang come off the pile. Bankson, the overtime hero in the last 2 games for Northfield. He's come up with a couple of good runs here in the 4th quarter. Pass across the middle, batted incomplete, nearly picked off at the 20. Holden tried to zip it across the middle. Aaron Walters nearly picked it off.
Wow.
For Sartell.
Here we go with the replay. I think Northfield should have kept this on the ground here, but you see him throw the ball. Oh, wow. Very lucky.
Stephen Kimball.
I'm not sure that wasn't picked off there.
Kimball, I think, batted it up in the air and nearly picked it off. 3rd and 7. Northfield 4 of 11 in 3rd down conversions. Pitch to Wilson. Flag down. Wilson is down at the 14. He's about a yard shy of first down yardage. Paul Trobeck pinned him down there. We'll check the penalty.
I think it's going to be a clip, Dick.
Penalties really hurt Sartell in the first half. They're really hurting Northfield here.
They certainly are.
It is a holding call against Northfield.
Northfield can ill afford any more of these kind of penalties. I mean, they got some nice momentum, going into the end zone, and they don't need penalties like that.
It was 3rd and 7. It'll still be 3rd down, but a bunch more. Line of scrimmage was the 20. It's moved out to the 31-yard line. A couple of big penalties in the second half for 22 yards have really hurt Northfield. 27 yards worth of penalties in the game for the Raiders.
Well, the situation now is we know what they're going to have to do. That is the Northfield team. They have to go to the air.
Jeff Otte at the bottom of your screen. The pass goes to the other corner. And it is bobbled in the end zone, nearly picked off by Steve Clavercamp, and nearly caught near the goal line.
Okay, here's the play again. Nick Holden comes back. He has his man on the outside there, but as you can see, the Sartell speed is unbelievable. That should have been an interception. But it was almost a reception, too.
Volkov fell into the end zone and almost fell in his lap. 4th down. Raiders will go for it. 7:13 left in the 4th quarter. This has been the best football game of the day. Holden deep into the end zone, looking for Adi, incomplete at the 5. Adi appeared to be open, the ball overthrown, and now Sartell will take over on down.
Well, that was a nice play there. I mean, they had the guy open. Nick just kind of over. Here you go here, Nick Holden going back. He has the wide receiver over that he's going to, and he just has a little too much arm. Just misses him.
Line of scrimmage, the 31-yard line, and now the Northfield defense will have to come up with a big play. We have an apparent timeout on the field, and I didn't see that it was charged to either team. I'm not sure why we have a delay here. Only a TV timeout if we go to commercial, right? We're not on commercial.
Exactly. We're not on commercial.
So don't blame us. 7:07 left in the fourth quarter. Sartell's been ranked number 1 all year long. Northfield had him down 14-0. And now Northfield is behind by 7. Ron Faring brings him to the line. Trobeck with very little running room up the middle.
Came back with a counter play there, Dick. Northfield was really prepared for it.
Chuck Van Nostrand with the tackle along with Jeremiah Franz. Second down and 8. Northfield with 3 timeouts left. Sartell with 2. They took one early in the third quarter. Stark fumbled the football after he was down at the 24-yard line. He was hit very hard after a gain of a couple. Jesse Grissom and Brett Setterstrom combined on the tackle.
That was very close to a fumble there. That probably had that coach a little nervous. I don't know. That ball was moving. Oh, ground knocked it out. Yeah. Good call.
Gain of a yard, 3rd and 7.
Have you noticed that the backs for Sartell have had a little trouble holding on to that football when they first get it?
On the delay, Trobeck spilled as he got to the 35-yard line, and he's a little slow in getting up. The Northfield defense did its job. Setterstrom and Jeff Simon combined on the hit. And Sartell will have to kick it away. And remember the problems that Sartell has had all year long with their long snapping. In one of their games against Montevideo scored 18 points, and all 18 came on misfires on long snaps. So this is not a routine play, but a good snap here. Mater with a high, wobbly, short kick. Fair catch called for and taken at the 39. 5:15 left in the fourth quarter. We expect a great finish for the Class A championship. Anoka and Alexandria after the completion of this game, but this has been, in my book, the most entertaining game of the 4 so far. Northfield needs a touchdown and an extra point to tie. Pretty good field position, ball spotted on the 40. Holden handing off to Matt Patrica. I believe that's Patrica's first carry of the day. Steve Kimball with the tackle. It was Matt Patrica's first carry of the football game. Bankson and Wilson have been doing all the ball carrying.
I guess Wilson's out there for a little timeout.
There's a pickup of 3. The absent player in the backfield is Håkan Bengtsson. Holden to the sideline, incomplete. Diving attempt by Adam Roski. Favorite target of Nick Holden. Roski caught 9 touchdowns during the year. A misfire here, and it's 3rd down and 7. And now Håkan Bengtsson comes back into the ball game, replacing Matt Patrica. 4.5 minutes left in what has been a very entertaining football game.
Well, Northfield definitely needs all their horses in there in order to win this game.
On the delay, Wilson gets across the 45 to the 46. Ross Lang made the tackle for Sartell, and the game may hang in the balance on this 4th down.
Again, you see this delay to Drew Wilson. But this Sartell defense and the speed, they get there really quick. He outruns one guy, but listen, he's got 3 or 4 more to get rid of. Can't do it.
Thought Bob O'Sullivan might go for it here, but apparently they'll kick the ball away. Remember, in the 3rd quarter, same spot in the field, they try to fake. Here's another one. And this one will work. Patrica streaking and scoring the touchdown. Matt Patrica. What a play and what a call by Bubba Sullivan.
I got to tell you, that faked me out. I was looking the other way. I just saw the guy, Patrica, across the end zone.
This was set up very well. We didn't get a very good look at the first fake in the 3rd quarter, and it was perhaps a turning point in the game because Northfield gave up good field position when the fake punt did not work. But here, they get the touchdown. The ball's not there. The short man fielded it, and it looked like he handed it off between the legs of Patrica. And Patrica went in untouched.
He did take us out.
Now a big extra point. Up and good, and we're tied at 21. What a way to tie the game with 3:41 left. We've got one heck of a finish for the Class A championship. Hutchinson ran a very similar play against Northfield in the semifinals. Now a fake punt by Northfield ties the game. We might be headed for overtime with 3:41 left.
Well, we've had everything else during the course of the day, and overtime wouldn't be something that couldn't happen for sure. These are 2 fine football teams.
Bengtsson will kick it away. Stark and Mater are back at the 5-yard line. Bounding kick fielded by, actually it's Mater, one of the up men. He takes it at the 25. And Mater gets it out to the 34. A lot of football left before a possible overtime, but Bob Meslow, what happens in overtime if we get there?
Dick, the overtime procedure starts with a coin toss. Typically, the team that wins the coin toss will take defense so they know their options. The ball is then placed on the 10-yard line with the offense having 4 opportunities to score. If they do score or if they turn the ball over, then the defense takes the ball on 10 and they get their 4 shots at crossing the goal line.
And remember, Northfield got to this game on back-to-back overtime wins. Sartell's start breaks outside and picks up about 6 yards before he's tackled by Jeff Duke and Brett Centerstrom.
Time starts again. Nice run, good speed. Nice gain, 6-yard gain.
What a call by Bubba Sullivan. He's 1 for 2 in the championship game on fake punts.
Look at this guy. Look how young he looks. He looks like he's still in high school.
A few more overtime games, and
yeah, he'll
his
age
hair's
quick,
going to either fall out or turn gray. Montefering keeps. Deep along the sideline, incomplete. The pass intended for Trobeck. It'll be 3rd and 5. Montefering just 3 of 13 through the air here tonight. The ebb and flow of a championship game. Sartell and their fans subdued through most of the first half They were encouraged. They had the lead for a while. Now Northfield has tied it up. And with 2:31 left, a big third down play here for the Sabres. On the delay, Trobeck will not get a first down. A pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards. Centerstrom on the tackle for Northfield. It'll be 4th down and 2. And Scott Mader is in the game, and they're going for it. I beg your pardon. This may be the walk-around punt that we talked about. You see Mader, the punter, takes the pitch and booms one. He did this a couple times last week. Down the field, and that ball will be down at the 2-yard line.
That was a great call. Good play by the Sartell team.
They did it several times last week. That's why I'm a little surprised Northfield didn't have anybody back to defend the punt. You don't want to take the chance that they might go for it on 4th down this late in the game, but this was not, or should not have been, a surprise that they would try this, because they did it a number of times last week.
That was a 55-yard punt.
And again, the fear of the long snap, losing a state championship.
Here it is. Watch this play. That's a nice job. 55 yards.
If he continues to have the results like that, we're going to have Scott Mader have a kicking camp during the summer to teach people how to do that.
Hey, that was a nice job.
Deep in their own territory. Watch out for a safety. Handoff up the middle. Bengtson works it out to the 4, and that's it. Jesse Reinert was waiting for him. 1:15 left. If you're Northfield, you don't have field position. You don't want to turn the ball over. Sartell has only 2 timeouts. They may take one after this 2nd down carry. 1 minute left. Holden taking as much time as he can. Wilson.
Sartell speed.
Gets it out to the 7-yard line, and the Sabres do not immediately call a timeout. 35 seconds left, the clock running. Paul Trobeck with the tackle, and now, after 7 seconds disappear from the end of the play, now Sartell does call a timeout. Same old story, right? Overtime.
Overtime.
Number 1. They finished number 1 in the last 2 overtime games. International Falls and Hutchinson fell to Northfield in overtime. There's Dean Taylor. 34 seconds are left. It's 3rd down and 4 with 1 timeout left, provided the Sabres can hold Northfield without picking up a first down.
Exactly.
They can force a punt from the end zone. And we've already seen Adam Herbst return a punt for good yardage. You never know about a block punt, fumbled snap.
Whatever happens, they'll go all out to make something happen. I can guarantee you that. Whether it's going to go for the block return.
It's 3rd down and 4. Bengtson and Wilson, the running backs behind Nick Holden. Wilson will not get a first down, and Sartell immediately calls a timeout here with 30 seconds left. Jesse Reinert in on the tackle, along with Sartell's Ross Lang. And a little slow getting off the pile, Andy Larson, offensive guard for the Raiders.
This game has had a lot of suspense and a lot of excitement. They've really played great defense, too, on both sides of both teams, both Sartell and Northfield. It's a really nice football game.
Håkan Bengtson will punt the ball from about the goal line. He'll take the snap in the end zone.
Blocked.
Lang's 14th tackle coming on that last play. Sartell using its timeout to give everybody a little bit of a rest here. 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter and a tie game for the Class A championship. Taylor coaching along the sidelines. A slow exit off the field for Larson. Bengtson standing about 5 yards deep. Herbst and Claverkamp stand back near their 40. A 34-yard average tonight for Håkan Bengtson. Short low spiral, very short kick and a bounce sideways out of bounds at the 29-yard line. 23 seconds left.
Okay, now Sartell has the ball. We've been talking about this guy that can kick these field goals. We hear that he's kicked several in practice from 56 yards. This may be all they need.
A 20-yard punt for Bengtson. Scott Mader is the kicker you talked about. 4 of 7 from the year. His longest 45 yards, and right now it would be a 46-yard attempt.
So we know it's within his range.
But Sartell has no timeouts left. On any play that's down within the sidelines, they would have to hurry to get their kicking team on the field and set. Montefiore looking to the sideline, throwing, and it is complete to the 21. The pass caught by Adam Herbst. Joe Lang knocked him out of bounds. And Mader comes onto the field with 18 seconds left. Herbst comes off the field. What an impact he's had in this football game. Mader in the game. It would be a 38-yard field goal attempt. And now Northfield will take a timeout with 18 seconds left.
Well, they're going to give Mr. Mader a little bit of time to think about it.
And he'll do just that. Seconds left. Now, Sartell has been burned by a fake punt. It is only second down. You don't think they'd want to try a fake field goal?
I was just thinking about that, but I doubt it.
A little payback.
But anything's possible. We've seen a little bit of everything today.
Well, we've seen Mader show off a pretty good leg. Although he tried a field goal from 51 yards in the first half and was very short. Other than that, the kickers have been perfect on the extra points. The tee down at the 28.
There it goes.
Up and go! Help! Watch his reaction with Peter's feet. As soon as he kicked it, he knew it was through.
He knew it was gone.
With plenty to spare, we might add.
We've heard about Scott Mader all evening, about these field goals he was cooking. Look at those faces. Look at that. That is what high school football is all about. That's great.
A 38-yard field goal for Scott Mater with 13 seconds left. Håkan Bengtsson and the Northfield Raiders a little dejected. They've got just 13 seconds to work with, and now all pumped up after what might be a state championship winning field goal. We'll see how far Mater kicks this one. Not very far, as it turned out.
And that's why.
Play still alive. The play still alive. Maybe the last play of the game. 2 seconds left in the football game. And Northfield has...
He knew it right away. Watch his reaction with top of your speed.
As soon as he kicked it, he knew it was through.
He knew it was gone.
With plenty to spare, we might add.
We've heard about Scott Mater all evening, about these field goals he was cooking. Look at those faces. Look at that. That is what high school football is all about. That's great.
A 38-yard field goal for Scott Mater with 13 seconds left. Håkan Bengtsson and the Northfield Raiders a little dejected. They've got just 13 seconds to work with, and now all pumped up after what might be a state championship winning field goal. We'll see how far Mater kicks this one. Not very far, as it turned out.
And that's why.
Play still alive. The play still alive. Maybe the last play of the game. 2 seconds left in the football game. And Northfield has 78 yards to go. This has been a wonderful football game, one dominated in many areas by Northfield. Time of possession in the football game over 30 minutes for Northfield. Sartell just a little over 17 minutes.
But Sartell has the points they need to win the football game.
Northfield has called a timeout. They have one left, but just 2 seconds with which to work. Sartell team spent some time practicing this week at Hallenbeck Hall at St. Cloud State, practicing indoors on the artificial turf there that the Huskies use to practice on an artificial surface. And it may be that for the second year in a row, Northfield has come to the state championship game only to lose.
Oh, they played a nice football. This has been a really good football game. The only thing about it is somebody has to lose. And
it really has been a great game. Northfield had the game pretty much under control in the first half. Sartell came back, had the lead. A great call for Northfield on the fake punt to tie it up. One last chance for Nick Holden. Sartell rated #1 all year long, and they finished the season as the Class A champions on a 14-0 record. After what he's shown here tonight and all year long, Scott Mater might have some Division I teams looking for him.
I would say he should. I mean, he has done a fantastic job tonight. Shows that he can respond under pressure, and that's the key to being a great field goal kicker.
Sartell had already planned have their big pep rally at 11 o'clock tonight. There were some anxious moments along the way. They were going to have the pep rally win or lose at 11. But they're going to have a winning pep rally at 11 o'clock.
That's right. It's going to be a nice time in Sartell tonight.
Great effort by Northfield. And for the second year in a row, they finished second in the state. Not a bad couple of years for Bubba Sullivan and his team. The Sartell Sabres, champions of Class A. And the loss hard to take. That's for the second straight year.
The agony of defeat right there. But this Northfield team, as you said, Dick, has nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing. And I know exactly how they're feeling at this moment. Exactly.
This is one of the best high school football games I've seen in quite some time.
Well, it had everything, for sure.
They will go home as state champions in Class A. They were here twice before and finished runner-up, so they know all about how Northfield feels right now. Runner-up in 76, runner-up in 1990, but in 1994 they're champions. Jeff Grayson, let's go to you.
All right, Dick Braver, thank you. Scotty Mater, a 38-yard field goal to win the state title. You could have kicked it 50, it looked like.
I don't know, I'm kind of speechless. I've been going to camp like for the last 2 years and stuff, and it's really been helping out a lot.
Were you nervous in that situation? Take us through your mindset.
Right away I was nervous. It's like my legs built with like a lot of adrenaline and stuff, and then after they took the timeout, it settled me down more.
There's your kick up on the Metrodome scoreboard, and it was perfect. You're speechless, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Our offensive line really picked it up in the second half, and defense stepped it up too. They did a great job. Everybody did a good job.
I think everybody dreams of getting the game-winning points in a game, and you did it for the state title. Can you say some words about what it feels like at all?
It's the best feeling of my life. This is awesome. It's like we've worked all last year and last year to build up for it, and then this year we came out and everybody was expecting us to do well, and I hope we pleased them.
I think you did. Congratulations, Scotty Mater. Let's go over to Andy Skugman.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm with a very happy head coach, Dean Taylor. Great finish, great second half, great comeback. Congratulations, Coach.
Two different halves, two different football teams. If you saw us in the first half, you wondered where in the world did these guys get rated anything in the state, you know. But the kids, they did a good job of coming out and taking us off the ball and getting us on our heels, and we just had to regroup a little bit, and we told our kids, we're not screamers and hollers. You were in there, you know that. We just told them they got to decide if that's the caliber of football they want to go out on, and apparently it wasn't. What a group of kids, on a lot of poise, a lot of composure in this group.
Enjoy the victory, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, the Sartell Sabres, all year long, #1. They go home tonight. Fans, they are #1. The champions, Class A. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, thank you.
One over Northfield. Two teams finishing 1 and 2, respectively, in the final hole in Class A. So we expected a great football game, and we got one. American Dairy Association's Players of the Game are up next. And so many candidates for both Northfield and Sartell. Our defensive player of the game for Sartell is Ross Lang. Lang with 14 tackles, leading either team. And our offensive player of the game, even though he starred on the special teams, you have to give the award to the guy who got the game-winning kick. Scott Mater with a
38-yarder to win the championship. They'll both receive a certificate and a donation sent to their high school on behalf of your local dairy farmers who remind you, milk, help yourself. Pepsi salutes the winner of this Class A championship game, Sartell. In fact, just making it this far demonstrates a championship effort.